afternoon, everyone out there in our MNC Hoops world. We're so thankful to be back. CJ, thanks for fixing the camera. I didn't even pay attention. I'm on the wrong side there. It's been a while. It's been a moment. It's been a minute, but we're glad to be back here with NBA Talks, where we're going to be breaking down the playoffs game, what all's going on, recap some, and probably talk about a little while it's going on live right now. But before we get into the show, CJ, how have you been doing, man? Oh, muted.
How you doing, man? All is well. Just grateful, and just trying to capitalize on every opportunity that comes my way. And we chopped it up, just came to the decision to come back. And breaks are fine. There's nothing wrong with breaks. Everybody needs a break sometimes. But it's the playoffs, and I'm not gonna have a platform where I could talk about the game. So why not?
Absolutely.
Do what we got to do and do what's necessary. Like I said, we got our platform, and we're gonna try to maximize that. So appreciate everybody that's tuning in and people that have been asking me past couple of weeks, month or so about it. So we back now, and it's time.
Yes, sir. My son has been begging me, or questioning me, let me say it that way, each Sunday. Dad, when are you going to do MNC again? Dad, you got a show this Sunday? I'm like, honestly, it's not happening, and it's okay because I need a little bit of a break, honestly. Life does get in the way. Things come up. But the thing is, we get through, we come back together, and we're ready to go on that. It's actually been a perfect time and break for myself for Cat's Chat with everything going on there with Calipari leaving, looking for a new coach and everything. It was really fun to kind of be live with some of those comments going on, or even some of those breaking news. I also learned a lot that sometimes people try to break news, and you just got to kind of be patient and understand what's going on and not believe everything on the Twitter world. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get live into this NBA playoffs where some stuff is going crazy, some things are predicted. And honestly, CJ made a good tweet, I think 2 days ago, talking about the Lakers possibly being swept out, Stephen Curry not even being in there. It's a new era for the NBA. We got the Timberwolves up in their playoffs. We've got the Thunder number one in the Western Conference. I think there's a little bit of possibly passing of the torch. We don't know really going on, what's going on with that. But let's go ahead and get into our first matchup. We've got, looks like it is the Clippers and the Mavs. CJ, what have you been thinking about this matchup so far?
Yeah, this is definitely one of the most exciting matchups of the first round so far because of the talent. Unfortunately, Kawhi Leonard was unable to play tonight or this afternoon in the game due to knee inflammation. But Clippers came out, were aggressive. They had a 30-plus point lead in the game. Did the things necessary to put themselves in predicament to win. The Mavericks fought back. They were a resilient team. That's what they're going to do. You're going to try to protect home court. They have two special players, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, that are going to make the necessary plays on a possession-by-possession basis to be successful for the team. So they came back, made it close, had a lead for a little bit, but Paul George made a spectacular shot on the right side, step back three. Then James Harden hit two floaters, one of the floaters being an and one to kind of seal the deal. For me personally, Kleber was just standing in the paint. You have to step up and force Harden to, pick his dribble up. You can't just let him see an opportunity and see a lane to go for a floater. When you see him about to drive, you see he has to step on PJ Washington. You have to step up and make him force pick up the basketball, let him make a different read. Guys rotate, get over it, make the necessary adjustments and necessary reads to make the plays. And the Mavericks, they did a good job of that and lead to coming back in the game. But the last 2 minutes, they weren't able to do that.
Yeah, just looking at even as far as a recap from Bleacher Report, like you said, Clippers jumped out 39-16 in the first quarter. Of course, then the Mavericks do answer back, like you said, second quarter 33-27, cutting at the lead, and then 29-16 in the third quarter. So the Cavs really fought back on that. I haven't got to watch that game. I'm probably going to try to go back and watch it because that's probably my most interesting matchup is this Clippers Mavericks and of course it's 2-2 now. As Clippers won today, 116-111. Anybody stand out in particular to you as far as having a good season that you wouldn't have think or thought had
In this series?
in this series?
Yeah, listen, Norman Powell's always going to be a guy. I feel like, he gets the credit. He's always on good teams. He's made some big shots. He's a champion when he was with the Toronto Raptors. So he understands what it takes. He understands the sacrifice. He understands space in the floor. Even though, again, like I said, Kawhi's out. He has chemistry with Kawhi because they won that championship in Toronto in 2019. It's just he's always going to be a spark plug player. Knows where his spots are. Knows where he's going to get the basketball. Depending on who has the basketball, whether it's Harden, Kawhi, Paul George, Westbrook, Terrence, whoever's, and then he can put the ball on the floor as well. Always a talented player. Zubats, when he's locked in, getting rebounds, he's always going to be good. And then for Dallas, I'm looking at Daniel Gafford. I'm looking at PJ Washington. I mean, those were the two guys that came in and they were acquired at the trade deadline. They're expected to make plays in this moment. So, I know they're both coming from teams that weren't good and weren't necessarily associated with winning, be it the Wizards and the Hornets respectively. But,
Right.
Now you're on a team with Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, owned by Mark Cuban, who has a championship. That, that's the expectations is exactly that.
And, I agree with both of those players. And actually, Washington only having 10 points now with 41 minutes, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. He's got to be a little more. To me, for them to have a chance. Of course, they fought back. Like you said, they did everything right. I'm not taking anything away from Dallas on this game, but he needs to be at least 15 to 20 points for them to be at least finals contenders, in my opinion. That's why they went out and got him. Kyrie and Luka can only do so much. I mean, they combined for 70 points, basically. Of course, Luka was a 29, 10, and 10. So, I mean, they got to have some extra help on those guys, like you said, coming in. And I think PJ is capable. Kentucky, of course. That's one reason why I'm going there. And I've seen him as a college player. So,
don't talk about PJ Tucker, bro?
No, PJ Washington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, not Tucker. PJ Washington is capable of dominating under the goal or in the paint, but against power forwards, I won't say against centers or anything. But so hopefully he can take this time and be able to absorb what's all going on and be able to shine in the playoffs because this is his first really test in the playoffs. So it's new to him. Hopefully he can turn it around there. Do you want to go on to the next game or the next series?
Going on to the next series, we got the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. New York Knicks are up 3-1 in the series after getting the W tonight in Philadelphia. Jalen Brunson had 47, 10, and 5, shooting 53% from the field, 18 for 34. And 3 down. And this is a really physical series. It's a lot going on. That win that we got in game 2 is just, it matters. That win is so paramount right now. You just think about it. In game 3, it was a close game. We had a nasty third quarter. We gave up 43 points in the third quarter. That's why we lost that game. In this game, our fourth quarter, that was one of the best defensive fourth quarters I've seen from a team. You can't tell the way they play defense. They can switch on everything. They ice the screen. If they're going to be in drop coverage, they help each other on the backside. They communicate on defense. You got OG Anunoby. He could stop. He could take away one player. Josh Hart, DiVincenzo. They know they have to play defense. Jalen Brunson play defense, draws charges, creates turnovers that way. It's just Mitchell Robinson. Precious Achiuwa comes in. Wasn't really getting a lot of minutes in the first couple games. He comes in, making plays, had a couple blocks, had a couple rebounds, contesting shots, making things difficult for Embiid. Then you got OG Anunoby guarding Embiid in the fourth quarter, making things difficult for Embiid. Embiid doing Euro steps when he has a clear lane to the basket where he should have dunked it. This team is special, and It took a little. Jalen Brunson struggled the first couple games, but we were still able to win those games. That talks about the type of team that we have. And OG Anunoby, I said it. This in order for them to go where they feel like they want to go, and I'm putting no ceiling. I'm not, sky's the limit. OG Anunoby has to be aggressive from a scoring standpoint from here on out. Like, he has to have those type of games. 18. I mean, listen, can he get 16 and 14 every night? If Josh Hart can, he can. You want $40 million in the offseason? Let me see 16 and 15. So that's how I'm feeling. And listen, Embiid's special.
Before you go to there, let me ask you a couple questions.
Yeah, I just want to get this on record real fast. Like,
okay,
what he did with Mitchell Robinson, I did not respect. I did not like that move at all. You said, okay, the reason why you were afraid because of what happened with your knee when Kuminga fell on your knee, which led to you damaging and hurting your knee furthermore in that game against the Warriors. Okay, but Mitchell Robinson wasn't even anywhere around your knees, and you just grabbed his leg. He had no idea how his leg was going to land, but you did. That's scary. This man already just had ankle surgery and missed time and just came back. And you're grabbing this man's ankle while he's in the air. If it was the other way around, what are we talking about? Multiple game suspension, right? I'm just saying, keep it consistent. You want to be a fair league, keep it consistent. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I got to get that on record. But like I said, 3 down, go back to the Garden, take care of what we need to take care of, ice the screen, hedge, get back. Man, this is a good time to be a New York sports fan, bro. Be up right now. Grateful.
Do you think, like what you were talking about where Jalen did struggle some, do you think where some of these guys played together in college, that's helping the camaraderie here big time?
Brother, it's paramount. It's paramount. I mean, these guys won national championships together. These guys have been the number 1 team in the country for multiple weeks on end throughout their collegiate seasons as teammates. DiVincenzo hit some big shots in that 18 national championship game. DiVincenzo was knocking down threes galore. Josh Hart was big time in that 2016 national championship that they were able to win.
Yep.
So these guys have been through these guys played in the Big East, been through the fire. Tough teams, UConn, Syracuse. They've seen it all together. So, and they've been playing in that Pennsylvania area, Philadelphia area, close nearby for a long time. So they're not scared of that area. New York fans, we travel. We're about 2 hours away. Shout out all the New Yorkers that was there. It felt like a home game. It was going crazy.
Really?
It felt like a home game. The crowd was going wild. We shot MVP when Brunson was on the free throw line. You could hear it. It was crazy. Man, the way we travel is amazing. And like I said, it's a great time to be a Knicks fan.
Now, going over to the Philadelphia side, of course, in this game, I mean, it's 97-92, which I like those scores in my own opinion of defense actually being played and not being so long or a so high scoring game. But Embiid had 27, 10, and 6. Maxey had 23, 6, and 6 as well. And then, of course, Kelly Oubre had 19 points. Tobias Harris, only 10 points, 8 rebounds in 34 minutes. Of course, Kyle Lowry having 7 points, 7 assists and 5 rebounds. This is really supposed to have been where Tobias Harris is going to step up as a leader while, Embiid was out during the regular season there for a big stint and build up to this. But really, it's Maxey's definitely stepped up to that number 2 on this. And Harris, is he still pretty much hit and miss? Are we expecting more out of him too, or is it just me?
Yeah, I think, for Tobias Harris, he's really been underwhelming since he's been a Philadelphia 76er. Let's just be honest about it. It was a 5 years, $180 million contract. I don't really think he played up. He's kind of like the Kirk Cousins of the NBA. He makes a plethora of money, get your money. It's a capitalist country. Do what you need to do. be able to take care of yourself and your family. But then we could also look at other things about the game in terms of production in the postseason. And like I said, for Tobias, he just struggles in the postseason. I don't know what it is. He's had multiple head coaches, Brett Brown, Doc Rivers, now Nick Nurse. He's had a bunch of coaches. He's played well here and there, but for some reason it just doesn't work out in the playoffs. I have no idea, but they need a third option. They need another third option. Who's that third option going to be? That's what they got to figure out, but they're definitely going to need a third option going forward. And because Tyrese Maxey is special. Tyrese Maxey is special, brother. I mean, one most improved. Congratulations to him. There was definitely a lot of candidates for that award this year. Mm-hmm. But I think you could definitely say he deserved that. Became an all-star. Averaged 26. I mean, that's not an easy feat. And Embiid missed a lot of time, still playing well. So he's a special player, and he's going to continue to grow. To me, he's a 1B. I don't consider him as a second option. To me, there's a difference. Like, to me, Kyrie I used to say he's a second option, but he's a 1B.
Like I'm with you on that, honestly, especially with Embiid and Maxey running a pick and roll or whatnot.
Yeah,
I mean, the ball's in his hand. It's, he's a 1. I'm with you on that. So
he's special.
As a Knicks fan,
grow.
Does the Sixers have a chance at coming back? And if so, how?
Listen, what they would have to do is they have to have a lot of fight. They got to go after every loose ball. They have to be able to box out, stop us from getting offensive rebounds, because that's what we do. We get offensive rebounds. We create multiple opportunities for ourselves to get the basket, to score. That's what a team is supposed to do. Teams in the NBA, they don't box out in the NBA like they used to. You're supposed to box out. When you see the basketball go up in the air, you're supposed to look to where your man is at and then box him out and then go get the rebound. That's how we was taught to get rebounds in the NBA, how to get rebounds in basketball. Teams don't really do that, except the Knicks. Josh Hart. That's why Josh Hart is 6'4" and can get 5 offensive rebounds a night. He's a dog. He wants to go get that. Teams, his opponent is not boxing him out. Guards aren't thinking about boxing out other guards from getting offensive rebounds, so he has that advantage. Even the power forwards in today's NBA, they don't like to box out. They want to stand at the three-point line, so he uses that to his advantage, and that's why he's going to be successful, and that's why he's playing well this series. He didn't shoot well tonight, but he had 17 rebounds, couple assists. That's what you need. And if they don't play like that, if they have to beat us in that category. If they don't beat us in that category, and then Brunson plays well, it's going to be tough, because Embiid's going to get his calls. It is what it is. He's going to get his calls. You just got to be patient with that. But if we have to knock down our 3-point shot, we're playing defense. Like I said, they got to be able to stop our defense. They got to make things tough. They got to, start cutting to the basket, doing some slip plays, be aggressive when we switch and slip fast. Try to get the basket before the rotation gets there. That's what they're going to have to do. If they're not going to do that, and if we continue to have our back to the baseline and play defense the right way, slide our feet, switch, communicate, talk. And B's going to get his shots. Max is going to get his shots. They're special, but everybody else is not really coming off like that. Our role players are stepping up. Anunoby, Hart, McBride, Achua, DiVincenzo. All of those guys that I just named, all of those guys have been making plays throughout in these first 4 games. Those other guys for the Sixers haven't done that. So if they're not going to step up, 4 down.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, and we'll get on through this. Julius Randle, is he even on the team next year?
Of course. Of course he's on the team next year. Listen, when you talk about the turnaround of the franchise, you got to talk about the first move being the Knicks acquiring Julius Randle. You can't talk about the turnaround of this franchise without starting with that. So
I agree.
Listen, he's had ups and downs with the fan, whatever. That's just going to be a part of growing. It's a part of learning how to be a franchise guy. It's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be trials and tribulations. He's a great player. I hope, he's got the surgery, recover, get better, come back for sure. Like I said, we're still in the first round. We haven't advanced. We haven't done anything yet. so I don't want to move forward too much. But
I got you.
I like our team. I like the way we play because Josh Hart is stepping up. He's kind of we just need other guys to make up for the 24, 10, and 5 that Julius did every single night. We need other guys to make up for that. And because he's been out, we've been able to play those guys and they've been able to gain confidence. It'd be different if like he played throughout the whole regular season and then he got hurt, and then those other guys now they got to learn how to play and get confidence. Those guys have played already throughout the regular season together, learned where they like to be at, things like that, and also got W's in the process. So that was kind of an advantage for us. But like I said, I wish him the best, and he's definitely going to be on the team next year, no doubt.
Okay. Do you think he finishes the season on the team?
I don't see why not. I think we do. Like I said, the season is still young. Like I said, we haven't really done anything. I don't want to go too far. I kind of just want to keep it on a day-by-day basis. And
okay. Enjoy where you're at now. I got you.
But I think, yeah, for sure, I think Randall's going to be with the team.
Okay.
Long term. Absolutely, brother.
Speaking of players on teams, let's go ahead and move to this next one because I'm not really sure what may happen, and the game just wrapped up here. We've got the Pacers that were taking on the Bucks. It just finished probably in the last 2 minutes here. The Pacers are going up 3-1 in the series. They just won 126-113. I want your thoughts on this whole series here, and possibly what goes on from here. Because 3-1 Pacers, the 6 versus the 3. What are your thoughts here?
Listen, I can make it easy and say here we go again with Milwaukee, right? I could go there, but it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I think it started off the season 30-13. We really don't know what happened as to why Adrian Griffin really got fired. We don't know what happened. It's kind of just like he got fired. Okay, a couple of days. Oh yeah, Doc Rivers was consulting with us, right? They made the move. Didn't necessarily work out. Now, for me personally, and I like to keep it fair, I like to give everybody a full 82 or a full season. And this goes for all sports. So, like, even if quarterback, I want to see maybe sometimes quarterback 2 years because it's the quarterback, right? But I want to see a full 82. We haven't seen a full 82 games with Doc Rivers as head coach. But the games that we have seen, it's been 500 basketball. Yes, guys have been in and out of the lineup. But even when guys are in the lineup, there's a lot of inconsistencies. The defense isn't there. They're playing drop coverage instead of icing on the screen. Brook Lopez is just sinking for no reason. There's no reason for him to sink. No one's rolling to the basket yet. He's just sinking to the basket, leaving that guy on the screen. It's a 2-on-1. Those are wide open threes. You have to be able to step up on the screen and trust your backside help. And they're not doing that.
I mean, I'm looking through here. So, I mean, Middleton had 25, Lopez 27, Beasley with 20, and of course Beverly with 9, and Portis with 4.
They don't play defense. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's 122 is what you gave up. And Doc, I always thought, had somewhat of a defensive-minded scheme, but like, man, I mean, of course, Giannis didn't play.
Brother, that was Tibbs.
Must have been Tibbs. Yeah.
Tibbs was the defensive coordinator of that team.
Yeah, it's definitely showing right now.
As the years go on, the credit continues to grow for him and how he was the defensive mastermind behind that 08 team.
Yeah. But, of course, I'm trying to think. Dame didn't play as well either. Achilles, I think it is. And,
so that's what I'm saying. Sad. It's just sad, man.
And, I don't want to get too long on some of these conversations, but the Bucks this year have been one of the most topic teams, I think, all year long, just because what all went in. They weren't even in the discussion during the offseason to get Dame, and then boom, all of a sudden they get him, and they're like, okay, this is going to be the team. Then they let Drew Holiday go, of course, and it's still supposed to be the redeem year, basically. They fire their coach, when they had like the first or second record in the East at the time, bring in Doc and everything's back and forth. They don't play well, but they're still second place because they're that good. And it always just seemed like the camaraderie, the chemistry or something has never been really set with this team. I'm afraid if they don't go past this round, which 3-1 down, I think they're going back to Milwaukee for Game 5. But still, if they don't make it out of the first round, losing to the 6th seed, do you think they break it up?
For the Bucks right now, I'm saying they'll probably give Doc Rivers a full season.
Because I know Dame Achilles, it's unfortunate, but
yeah, Dame Achilles, Giannis calf. Yeah, it's tough.
How many years does Giannis have in his contract? Do you know by chance?
I think it was a 4-year extension.
Okay. It's just anything that could go wrong has went wrong for the Bucks this year.
Yeah. It's just one of those unfortunate things, but I do feel like they'll give him one more season, and then if it doesn't work out, then the moves will be made. Unfortunately, again, that's just how the league is. Again, Doc, we all said this. We said this. Doc Rivers, this is like Doc Rivers' last stop. You can't just look at the Hall of Famers he's coached through his coaching career. Only one championship. But then people like to say Phil Jackson only won championships because of Shaq. I mean, of course, okay. You had great players. You need great players to win championships. Well, why is that breaking news?
Yeah.
Don't you hear
everyone who
win
championships.
Phil Jackson, there's people who like Phil Jackson. He only got the championships because of Shaq and Kobe and Jordan and Pippen. I'm like, okay. You need great players, bro. So Doc Rivers had a lot of great players he's coached, and only one chip. So kind of doesn't look good. And then the constant folding while up in the series. The inability. That's why you hear me saying 3 down. So I'm saying 3 down. I understand. I've seen it. We've seen it. We saw it 8 years ago. Yeah. Cavs Warriors. We saw it. Everybody saw it. Everybody that's a basketball fan. Everybody that's a basketball fan remembers that series. Everybody that's a basketball fan remembers that series. So you got to close out the series the right way.
Could this be a 3-1 flip for Doc Rivers?
Nah, he's not that talented. Nah. And like I said, Giannis and Lillard are hurt, so it's clear. Right. They're going to get packed up again. They're going to get packed up again in consecutive years. Go ahead.
I said it's the Pacers, too, like out of all teams right now. Like the whole story, the mid-season tournament, the whole stealing of the basketball for Giannis, taking it away from Oscar Tshiebwe and everything. Like, this is the team that's going to be 3 ranks below you, 6th seed when you're the 3rd seed, and put you out 4-1 possibly in 5 games. It's just icing on top of the cake, man. It's just crazy.
It's perfect. And for the simple fact that it's just for the Pacers, I'm happy for them. They're capitalizing on their moment. They're capitalizing on their opportunity. Halliburton making clutch plays. They're a really good team. They're a really good team. When they get their defense together, they can score with anybody. They can put up points with anybody. And once they get their defense together, I mean, they're a hell of a team. So, yes, the Bucks are undermanned. You have to consider that. But at the end of the day, everybody still has to execute and step in there and make the plays. So that's what Indiana is doing. That's what they're up.
Yep. All right. Another fun series that I think caught us all off guard, really, at the beginning of the season is the Cavs and Magics. The Magic, Yes. The Magic started off really hot, fell back some, made it to the 5th seed in the season. Right now they're they're tied 2-2 against the Cavaliers. It's a 5-4 here. Looks like their next game will be on Tuesday, I believe it is. And it looks like already they're saying, of course, Jones is out. Trying to see what we've got going on here. as far as the matchup, at least from Bleacher Report, what they're kind of comparing as far as the moving up ahead of points per game. The Cavaliers are 20th, Orlando's 24th. The main thing is down to the defense as far as the assists per game is Cavaliers are 8th. The Orlando is 28th. Cavs have been playing well all season. I really like this team. I think they're keep on close to making it to where it is. I'm trying to get to the stats here. I'm rambling a little bit. Orlando won their last game yesterday, 112-89. Really a big game by Orlando to answer back at home. Trying to look at some of the stats here. Pull up. Mitchell only having 18 points, Garland only 14, Mobley 14. Like, it was a rough night for them, even on a percentage. Let me see if I can actually pull up the recap of it. Nope, I cannot. Here we go. They did shoot 47% as a whole, only 24% from the three-point line. A lot of turnovers in both teams there. They both had 15 to 17 turnovers. What do you think is going to happen in this? It's tied 2-2 here. It's that mid-level as far as the 4 and 5 seed. Who do you think's win this matchup?
Yeah, this one is going back and forth. Both teams protected home court.
Mm-hmm.
So they did exactly what they were supposed to do. I think what's going to happen is it's going to come down to which star player on the team, on each team, is going to have a fantastic game on the road. Is it going to be Donovan Mitchell in Orlando, or is it going to be Paolo Banchero in Cleveland? And then, of course, you need what happened.
I said, or Wagner. He had a great game last game.
Yeah, Wagner too. But I think we kind of know this Paolo's team, and as in the shot hierarchy. So, that's what it's going to come down to. Can Donovan Mitchell go in Orlando, have a fantastic game to close out a series, and can Paolo Banchero do vice versa? And of course, Wagner. Of course, other guys are going to have to step up within the game, but we already know star players turn into superstars when they produce in the playoffs.
And really, Donovan Mitchell, as far as playoffs, he's not been that guy in times past. I like the player. I'm not trying to badmouth him, but, we've had many seasons with Utah as the number 1 seed, and they don't do anything in the playoffs. So, I mean, to erase the history, this would be a great opportunity for you. Win this one at home, go away on the road, and get one to close out the series against a good team in Orlando.
Yeah, this is how you fix the Cavaliers. You probably got to move off Jared Allen, put Mobley at the 5, so you could get another player in there that can space the floor. If you're not doing that, then Donovan's out of there. That's my opinion.
You mean next year?
Yes. If you're going to have to probably move off of Allen and then replace Allen with a floor spacer and put Mobley at the 5. Because if Mobley's not going to shoot, then he has to be the only guy in the paint. He has to be the only guy that's predominantly an inside player. It's not going to be able to work if him and Allen both of those guys can't space the floor at an efficient clip. It's impossible. Because Donovan has to get to the basket and get to the lane, and those guys are clogging up the paint because they're on both blocks. So it creates it can create a lot of bad offensive possessions. It can create some good offensive possessions too. And again, like I said, like I've been saying, it's going to come down to Mobley. That was the first thing I said as soon as they got Donovan Mitchell. I said Mobley's going to be the X factor. Mobley has to be the guy. He's the top 3 pick, and it was the 2021 draft. He has to step up and establish himself. If he's not able to do that, this is kind of what they're going to be. They could win some series. They could definitely win a series, but it's going to be tough for them because, you're just relying on the guards to do everything. And they don't have a lot of production from a floor spacing perspective from their small forward to their center spot. Now, they try to bring in Strus, who's cool, but again, as we've seen, it's different when you're not playing in a Miami uniform. So, like I said, they're good. Both teams are really good. I think I could definitely see this series going 7 games.
Everyone win at home, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When one of those guys got to step up. We got to come back on the next show and be like, this guy did exactly what we said. And they won the series.
Is Garland, does he have a pretty good 3-point shot?
Percentage. He's a good shooter. I like his game. He's still a young guy. He's been an all-star already in this league. So, he's played at a high level, at a great clip. But, they're trying it out with Donovan. But, listen, but we just get – they're probably going to – it already seems to me they don't like – they already want to move off JB Bickerstaff. So, that's kind of the vibe I've gotten. They're talking about if they're already saying that they get knocked out in the first round, they're gonna fire. I'm like, okay.
Oh wow.
Like, why would that be a story right as they start the playoffs? Sometimes people do
for
that.
Real.
Sometimes they leak that stuff to kind of do some reverse psychology. Oh, let's rally behind our guy, and you know what I mean, like
right. Put a little fire in the tail.
Yeah, some little weird movie type motivation type, a little bit cringy, but that's the mindset for the Cavs. Like they're relying, they're just like they're like the Eastern Conference version of the Portland Trailblazers when they had Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. That's what they are. Really good, can win a series. Both guys get hot, but we just haven't seen, other than the Splash Brothers, a dominant backcourt win multiple championships.
And I like Allen. I think even if they do move off to him, like wherever he goes, that's going to be a huge pickup for a center spot. Maybe the Phoenix Suns go after him.
Yeah, he could go to a few teams and definitely change life. Absolutely. The Phoenix. We're going to get to them. We'll get to them.
I don't want to. I really don't. Can we just skip over that one? Let's go ahead and go to a team that I love to lose. So let's go ahead and move over here to the Lakers and Nuggets. Of course, the Lakers did get past the sweep possibility, but we do have the Lakers down 1-3 against the defending championships, the Nuggets. I don't even really like saying it that way. Let me back up. The Nuggets are up 3-1 in this series. Give them the credit instead of just bad-mouthing the Lakers. I apologize on that. Chris Jokic is dominating as always. Jamal Murray with a beautiful buzzer-beater win over Anthony Davis. I thought it was crazy, the reporter that asked him, like, what happened in that play? And then AD just says he did a step-back jump shot and made it. Of course, then he left after that. But what's your thoughts on this series? And, of course, do you think it's done in one more game, or do they extend the pain here?
Start with the Nuggets. Best team in the world. Best starting five in the league. They have the chemistry. It just works. They know where everybody's going to be at all times. They trust each other. They have a genuine, relationship connection. When you win a championship, that's a different type of bond. They're hungry for more. No one in the world could guard Jokic. Period. And if Jamal Murray gets it going, it's pretty much wraps. It's wraps because again, everybody else knows what they need to do. Everybody complement each other so well. You got Jamal Murray, who's a scoring guard, who could also is an underrated. He's an underrated playmaker as well. I mean, obviously Jokic is the guy there, but Jamal Murray can make plays too, and he's a really good player, great player. Steps up in the postseason at all times. Jokic, like I said, best player in the league. Jokic is the best player in the league.
In the world.
No debate.
33, 14, and 14, but they still get the loss. But, I mean, that stat line is just crazy. For a center. I mean, for anybody, let's just be honest. But, like, for a center international player coming in, 41 minutes, 33 points, 14 assists, 14 rebounds on 10 of 20 shooting. Two threes as well from the center.
Exactly. And, again, they're going to be good. They're going to be really good. Now, for the Lakers, here's the thing. They built their team wrong. You cannot have a starting backcourt that doesn't play perimeter defense in the Western Conference and expect to be successful. It's impossible. D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves don't play defense at a high enough level to be a starting backcourt together in the NBA. So because of that, they're going to struggle. What they need to do is decide who they want to keep, D'Lo or Reeves. It looks like they're saying D'Lo is going to become a free agent and not take the player option and become a free agent. Great. Get paid. But I don't think it'll be with the Lakers. You move Reeves to the one off guard, sometimes could have the basketball, and then you get a two guard that can play defense, space the floor, be versatile. Then you have Reeves, whoever that player is that they need to acquire, Torian Prince, somebody else, LeBron, AD. Or you could go traditional, try to get another big man. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, AD will probably have to space the floor a little bit more. So I would say to offset that, you get your shooter. I said what they need to fix is their shooting guard spot and their small forward spot. We know the power forward and center spot is locked down. That's LeBron and AD. And like I said, they're going to come off Reeves. They're going to come off Russell. Russell is not going to be on the team next year. So Reeves will be the point guard. That's what I always said that should have happened. And whoever they get from the shooting guard and small forward spot, that's why they're not successful, because those two positions right there, they don't have a guy there that can defend. They don't have a guy there that can space the floor at an efficient clip. So because of that, they're going to struggle. That's why they're getting packed up. They don't have anybody that can guard Jamal Murray. Not one person. So Michael Porter Jr., nobody. They don't crash the glass. They don't fight for rebounds. And I'm talking about Reeves and Russell. They don't do that. They're not there. Like they're at times they play like dogs, but to me, you're not a dog if you only play defense when you make your shot. That's not a dog to me. A dog is somebody that even when you're missing your shot, you're still playing at a high clip. You're still playing defense. You're still crashing the glass. You're still getting stops. You're still putting your body in front, trying to set a charge, trying to create turnovers, communicating. That's a dog. So I don't know what's going on with Russell and Reeves, but they're not going to be able to figure that out. And if they don't figure that out, they're not going to be successful. And you can't have that. You can't have that as your backcourt in the West. This is LeBron and AD have been healthy all season. And they're about to get packed up, gentlemen swept. And it goes right back to my tweet. That's what I'm saying. These guys, LeBron, KD, Steph, it's the end of an era. It's the end of that era. This is the Luka Doncic. This is Jokic's era right now. We're in Jokic's work. This is Jokic's era. This is the Jokic era. People be like LeBron era, Kobe, Jordan. This is the Jokic era. But it could be competitive. Somebody could beat Jokic in the fight, and then we can have a debate. But as of right now, to me, I mean, if they go back to back, it's unquestionably Jokic's era. So, but like I said, for the Lakers, they got to change their team up. They got to figure out the shooting guard and small forward spot.
You know, I'm going to agree with everything you said on that. There's no point in me really talking too much on it because you hit it so much. Or hit it so much.
Last thing for me too, Darvin Ham. It's time. It's time. He's going to get packed up. His rotations weren't great. It's just it just wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time for him to be the head coach, and that's fine. You know, you live and you learn. I think he'll get a second chance somewhere, maybe with a younger team down the road. Go back to being whatever happens to him. I wish him the best, but you look at the last. This will be LeBron's fourth coach being with the Lakers. You got Luke Walton, Frank Vogel,
Ham, and
then Darvin Ham. So this will be his fourth coach in 6 years with the Lakers. That to me, that screams instability. How does LeBron James have 4 head coaches in 6 years with the Los Angeles Lakers?
Well, let's be honest though. The only coach he's ever really kept a long time was Ty Lue and Eric Spoelstra as well. But I mean, other than that, anywhere he's been, he's not really had too many longevity head coaches.
All right, I understand that, but again, I agree with that. But this is the Lakers, though. So like,
I
you got
agree.
to be able to find a head coach, and they should know more than anybody. Finding the right head coach matters. And right now, they're what? They're 0 for 3, and they won a championship with Vogel, and he got packed up. So to me, I still consider that 0 for 3, even though they won a chip, which is crazy.
It's tough to say 0 for 3 because of that point. I mean, if you win a championship, that's what your, obviously the goal is. But I do agree with you, honestly, because I don't really felt like they wanted him the whole time that they won it. And, of course, then they say the Mickey Mouse ring, which I don't agree with. But I want to back up just a little bit what I really agree most with you on your conversation about the Nuggets and the Lakers. And I think it's for both teams here on why one's good, one's not, is you said the Nuggets are a good team. And I don't think you just mean that they're the team name. Like individually, they come together as a team. Like this is a great definition of a college team, a high school team, of how well they form together. They know exactly what everyone's doing and they know where they're supposed to be in their spots. Like these guys are a well-organized, well-ran together team with great chemistry. They all get along. If one person's having a great game, ain't nobody going to be upset with it because they're going to be cheering them on and happy for them. When you go over to the Lakers, I almost feel like it's individuals. And I think it's, the defense like you're even talking about. The Lakers don't act like a team. They act like individual players to try to get their money or get their fame or get whatever they want. Like, hey, I had this great game. It was me. It's all about themselves. And I think that's sometimes what gets lost because it is Lakers. I'm not saying anything wrong with any individuals. I'm just saying, like, when you go to Lakers, there's so much more hype with it and so much more media that's on there. Like, hey, that was my name. I had the 30 points. I led us today. Why should I play defense when nobody behind me is going to be playing defense? So you talk about, the backcourt not playing hard defense. Well, usually in most teams, like, I'm going to fight for you no matter what. And I'm going to play as hard as I can. But I don't even feel like defensively, backcourt or front court, most of the game, they don't play their hardest the whole time. And that's why you have a bench. You play as hard as you can, as long as you can. You say, Coach, I'm tired. Let someone else have my back and have my team until I can get my breath and get back out there. I don't know. I just feel like the Lakers are lacking that camaraderie of in a battle, defending, fighting for your brotherhood there, So, and of course, that's me. I don't know if you agree with me on that or not, but I think that's what kind of sticks out to me.
Yeah, I think it's just a collection of everything. When you're unsuccessful, right, and having the season where it looks the season is most likely about to end. It's here soon. I know they got the win. That was a good win. I was kind of just like, hey, we're not just gonna lay down, which is cool. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
But we still got a lot of work. Still got a lot of work to do, and I just don't see it. They had a 20-point lead in one game, 15-point lead in the other game, blew both of those games. So.
Yeah, I think
they don't know how to close against Denver. That's their problem. They don't know how to close.
Is it fatigue? You think?
It's fatigue. It's. I don't know. I can't say it's fatigue. I mean, they're what 0-11 against the Denver Nuggets. They're 0-7.
That's true.
In the last 2 years in the playoffs, you're fatigued. Like, where's your pride? And in terms of like what is there? Well, now they're 1-7. Against the Nuggets in their last 8 games. Good. Okay. 1 dub. But like I said, they're not able to close. They don't know how to close against Denver. And that's why they always lose. Because they don't play defense. And it goes back to what I was saying. That starting backcourt, impossible in order to win a championship. There's no way you can have that starting backcourt and win a championship. Impossible. What was Rob Pelinka thinking? Like, how do you build a team like that? How do you build a team and look at your backcourt and say, okay, none of these guys can play perimeter defense? How do you build your team like that? With LeBron and AD. Now you're asking AD to do so much. Now he has to worry about 2 guys, not just one guy that can't play perimeter defense. 2 guys and guard his man. He got to show and go get the guy he's guarding just in case it's a lob or a drop off. He got to worry about all of that and try to contest and step up high enough to try to alter a shot that may come to the paint by a perimeter player with the basketball.
Who's the guy who really doesn't like playing the center position either.
Right, and it just and when that layer to it just makes it even more difficult. But again, that's what I'm saying from Rob Pelinka. Like, why would you build your team that way? So I think if he has the right people around him, his staff, the people that he entrusts and helping him build this team, and they're honest with him and they're not yes men, I would tell him, listen, like, you can't do this. This is impossible. You have to get rid of one of these guys, and it looks like Russell wants to be on the way out. Slide reach to the one, and we need to figure out the shooting guard, a small forward spot, if you want to keep LeBron here long term, and make sure I stay here long term. My job is his job is not safe. I know he's done some big. I know he's played a big part of the Laker organization for years. Everything that he's done, but you got to win. It's the Lakers, and you got this, and you're helping drive the ship of the last few years of LeBron James' career. Getting packed up in the first round is no, and he's still playing at a high level. Getting packed up in the first round is not the wave. So Rob Pelinka got some stuff he got to figure out in the offseason. Fast.
And what I'm worried about is most of the talk that's going to be for that number 2 spot is going to be like a superstar name too. It's the Lakers. It's what we hear always. And usually those superstars aren't known for the defense. And it's going to be almost
like the Suns.
Same,
excuse me.
And it's going to be fighting that same conversation that we're having now. Let's just go ahead. The Suns and the Timberwolves.
Sure.
CJ, why was I so happy at the beginning of the year getting Bill onto this team and thinking that having 3 superstars like this is going to be great? Also getting rid of I can't remember what Ayton called himself at the beginning of the year. Dominating, I think it was.
Dominating. What a guy. This guy's a comedian.
Anyways, no disrespect to the Timberwolves, who obviously are playing phenomenal as well. So this here, your recap on the Suns and Timberwolves.
Timberwolves are just the better team. They play better defense. They strap up. They're one of the best defensive teams. You're a casual. Appreciate everybody stopping in and watching us right now. You are a casual if you don't see the impact of Rudy Gobert. You are a casual if you don't see Rudy Gobert's impact on the basketball floor, on the basketball court, on a nightly basis. Hands down. You can say whatever you want to say about everything that we already know about whatever. I don't even want to go into that. But when we talk about on the court, he definitely plays an impact defensively, no question. And they have the team that can make it difficult for Denver because they have 2 7-footers, and one of the 7-footers is one of the best defensive bigs in the last 10 years. It's just facts. You don't have to like them, but it's the facts. And in a league where defense isn't as appreciated, he does play defense. People want to talk about the series when they played 5 out. Okay. And where did both of those teams got packed up? So what did it matter? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything. He's still dominant. And like I said, we had our questions. How was this going to work? And it's working. I'm happy for the Minnesota Timberwolves. These fans deserve this. Anthony Edwards is a superstar. Mm-hmm. He's definitely going to be the face of the league. Here's shortly, him and Luka are going to be the face of the league.
In SGA.
Shea, and I was just about to say Shea Gilgeous-Alexander as well, on his way. And we're gonna get into Oklahoma City and the Pelicans in a little bit, guys. But yeah, Anthony Edwards is special. He gets it. He wants to be great. You could just tell he wants to be great. and that's you could get behind someone like that and be a fan of someone like that. And like I said, he's a special player. He's a special player. So Cat understands it's not his team anymore, which is good. Acceptance is good. And like I said, it's Ant's team. We all know this, and they're going to be successful because he's a dog, hands down. If your superstar player is a dog, you're going to be successful every time. I promise you, because that's going to be their standard for everybody else on the team. You have to be right there with me from a mindset perspective every single night, because if you're not, I'm going to call you out on it. And if you're not a fan of that, you could go to a different team. Hands down. And they have that in Minnesota, and that's great for them. That's great for them. I wish them nothing but the best. They play great defense. Phoenix. They don't have a point guard, and they don't have a center. That's that. When you talk about on the court, that's the one thing I see. They lack those two positions right there. They don't have anybody to set KD, Booker, and Beal up for easy shots. All of their possessions are heavy, isolated possessions. If your scheme is primary isolation scheme, you're not winning a championship. We've seen this already. We've seen this story already with countless different teams. If that's your primary offensive scheme as a squad, you're going to win games, but you're not winning a championship. So that's what they do. That's what they do. And because that's what they do, it doesn't matter how talented those three guys are. It creates stagnant possessions. And when you create stagnant possessions against a great defensive team like Minnesota, they turn those stagnant possessions into easy transition offensive buckets. Simple like that. And because of that, this is why the series is the way it is. Phoenix, they don't have a center. Nurkic is not a starting center to me in the NBA. If you can't get 5 offensive rebounds as a starting center, bro, come on, man. Come on, man. You can't get 5
or even lead the team in rebounds.
If you're in the NBA and you're 7 feet tall and you're getting 30 to 35 minutes per game and you're a center and you can't get 5 offensive rebounds, you're never starting on my team. You would never start on my team. There's no way you're a starting center and you're only averaging 6 rebounds a night. Impossible. Impossible. You wouldn't even play. You would never play for me. Never. So his pick and roll defense isn't great. Again, they're another team. They don't ice the screen. They never ice the screen. They just play drop coverage and leave that guy on the screen for a 2-on-1. Those are easy. Ant-Man, that's so easy for Ant-Man. He's going to get to his spots and rise up and get that shot all the time. Cat can shoot from 3. One dribble, automatic. It's up. He's a sniper. You can say whatever you want about him. He's still talented. So Phoenix, they just don't have an answer. They don't have a point guard to set those guys up, and they don't have a center to protect the rim, block shots, alter the game. It's just like I said. It's just my turn, your turn. And that's what I feared. That's what their offense is going to be. And here we are. And that's where they're going to be. They're also going to get packed up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. And I was happy. I fell into it myself. I like Booker, Kentucky guy, so I like the Phoenix Suns. If Booker wasn't on the team, I'm be honest with you, I wouldn't like the Phoenix Suns. So I fell in love with giving Kevin Durant. I hated that we gave up so much to get him. You know, we talked about this before, the trade compared to LeBron going during the offseason, so much difference. But adding Bill, I was happy with it. I thought, he needed to be away from Washington. That needed to happen a long time ago, but we ended up having to give up more on that. So I'm going to say this, and I kind of like what you talked about. The 3 superstars for the Phoenix Suns are offense. The 3 superstars for the Timberwolves, you got one who only cares about defense. You got one guy who learns now that, okay, well, I'm just going to go, Cat, he's such a versatile offensive threat from as a forward, won a 3-point contest once, has a bunch of stuff, a lot of weapons as far as what he can do, post move, face up, 15 out, whatnot. Then you have Ant-Man, who is just flat out the guy for that team. So you hear that, and one of your guys that's a superstar, it's only because of defense and Gobert. When you have someone that buys into defense, it fixes so many different things. When you go over to the Phoenix Suns, you don't have anyone that buys into that defense in your super three. It's what we just talked about basically with the Lakers and what we talked about with another team that like defense. Who are we talking about? I can't remember now. So it's just there's always got to be a defensive mind in your top three guys, superstars, if you will, big threes, whatever you want to say. So I honestly think the Timberwolves match up with the Phoenix Suns so well with this because they do care about that defense. I mean, if you go ISO, Gobert is just going to help over one cat, can cheat down and whatnot, rotate over, and they know that they can stay at home on that. Even I like Nurkic. I think he is versatile, really. But as far as what we need, Kevin Durant is a better center than what Nurkic is for us. I mean, right now Durant already has 2 rebounds to Nurkic 1, and he's the big guy. But anyways, it is what it is. It is what we have as a roster. We miss Chris Paul. I honestly think we miss Chris Paul. It could have been that point guard Booker, play the 2 where Bill is, and let that pick and roll go, let him create, set the people up where they need to be on those shots. And Chris Paul would have been wonderful for this team with Kevin Durant. That's really all we needed was that assist guy, not another guy who's an ISO guy in Bradley Beal. Not saying you're a bad player, Bradley Beal. It's just that 3-headed monster doesn't work well together as far as schematic. It's Brooklyn with Kevin Durant, with James Harden and Kyrie. It's the Philadelphia 76ers when Harden went there. Like 3 superstars, offensive superstars, don't work well together. You have to have one that is, hey, I'm a defensive guru. And that's why more than likely the Timberwolves are going to sweep the Suns right here. That hurts my soul.
Yeah, it's just it's an unfortunate situation. You look at Kevin Durant post Golden State. It hasn't looked great. It hasn't looked great for him. So that's just something that we're just going to talk about as the time goes on. As the time goes on for KD's career post Golden State, post winning those championships. What did those teams look like when he was on the team? And where did they go? How successful were they? Those are the conversations that people are going to have when you're talking about the greats. Of course, it's nitpicking, but you still have to have those conversations. And
absolutely,
that's just what it is for Phoenix. And like I said, Phoenix is an unfortunate situation. Matt Ishbia, gotta find the right play. You gotta find a point guard, and you gotta find a center, man.
Do you know much about him?
I just know he went to Michigan State. I really don't know how he got to his wealth, but listen, he got the opportunity to coach a really good team, some really good players. And if he has basketball people around him, hey, listen, we can help you out. We can help you out right over here.
And he's a fan base.
I'm giving you free game. I'm giving him free game. I mean, if you're a fan of basketball and you're looking at your team and you're building your team, and you're like, man, why is my starting center not blocking shots? Why don't I have a point guard out there putting guys in the right predicaments to come off screens, come off pin downs, get the basketball, knock down shots, make things easier for them, so everything is not dribbling the ball for multiple seconds, creating shots that, yes, they can make, but they're still difficult shots. You want shots in rhythm. That's how you have the type of games where you have high-scoring games. They don't have that. They don't have somebody that could do that for them. So that's why they're at the position they're at.
But he was on the Pat McAfee show probably a month or 2 back, and just high-energy guy talking about how he took a leap of faith of trying to get the franchise team. He wanted one anywhere. He didn't really care, but he's making all fan-friendly. Like, I actually think the organization is kind of split up to a bunch of people where some of your fans can actually purchase a part of ownership with him, the way they got it running. It really, the whole time he's on the show, it's like, man, I want in on this, whatever they're doing. So, yeah, hey, Matt, holler at us, man. We'll love to come work for you.
Facts. Like I said, I already gave him the free game, so welcome. Yes.
Let's go over to the East Coast again to a matchup that I have been happy.
You're tired of this matchup, right? How many? You've seen this matchup so many times.
Yes, it's
decade, right?
the past two Eastern Conference Finals, it seems like I'm ready for a new matchup on this. I'm ready for someone else that we can beat. Of course, we're going over to Boston and Miami, where Boston's up 2-1. I think their game was tomorrow.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Boston did win the last one, 104-84 at Miami, which is always bad when you lose one at home. But we're still, I feel like, not at full strength, really. Let's see here. We only had 2 people on the bench from the last game, it looks like. Bam had 20 points. Martin had 5. Jokic, I'm sorry, I didn't say that right. Jovic had 15. And, of course, there's no Jimmy Butler yesterday. Do you think Miami can have the Magic still?
Not without Jimmy Butler, no. Not without Jimmy Butler. Yeah, Boston, they live and die by. I know I said 65 wins, guys.
we get there, but back up.
No, I just want to clear the air now. Just get there. I predicted 65 wins. They were close when they had 63 wins.
64 actually.
64 wins. They went 64 and 18. They kind of played a little lackadaisical towards the end of the season. They could have definitely got 65 wins. I mean, when that game against the Knicks, the game against the Bucks, they kind of just was like, all right, let's get to the playoffs. Those were that's how they played. So they could have definitely got 65, but it's cool. That's just there's a great team, talented team. But here's the thing: they live and die by the 3. Same thing I said about Nurkic is the same thing I'm gonna say about Kristaps Porzingis, brother. You're 7'3", and it's what a 10-foot rim. So like you're definitely one of the closest people to the rim. There should be no reason why you're not averaging at least 12 rebounds in the playoffs. They gave you a 2-year extension. They brought you here to be that third piece to help them get to the championship. You need to be a dog. Simple as that. Simple as that. It's why you're not averaging a double-double. Got to average a double-double. Why are you only getting 2 rebounds, 5 rebounds? How? You're 7'3". How are you only getting 7 rebounds at 7'3"? That's like doesn't even sound right to me.
No,
that just doesn't make any sense to me. That you could be that tall and play 30-something minutes a night and only get 7 rebounds. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing out there? Just standing at the 3-point line, cooling. That's not a big man. So he has to step up. He has to play better. But again, they're going to beat Miami because Miami they're not at full strength. And even if they were at full strength, Boston would still win because they're the better team. But they have to have a counter when the threes don't work. They're not great at home in the playoffs, shockingly enough, as good as they've been. And they've been to the finals, and they've been to multiple Eastern Conference finals, but they're not good at home. And they have to work on that. They have to be able to do that. They're still talented. I still think they're going to go to the Eastern Conference finals. I'm not saying that, they're just going to flop and sell, but they have to fix some of those things. That's some of the flaws. That's some of the things they have to work on, and they'll work on that en route to where they want to get to.
Do you still think White is the guy for them still?
The X Factor? Mm-hmm. X Factor is Kristaps Porzingis, brother. No, don't. Whoa. We're not moving no goalposts for this man. Kristaps Porzingis is the X Factor. They brought him in for this. They made the trade. They call him the unicorn.
It's because he disappears.
I need 18 and 13 2 blocks every night. Is that crazy? I don't think that's crazy.
I would say 18, personally
18, 13
for
and
me,
2.
I wouldn't even care so much for the 18. If he was down 13 to 15, as long as he's getting 15 rebounds.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much.
If those 15 rebounds, let's say like 6 of those are offensive, beautiful.
Putbacks.
That's a beautiful night. But
yeah,
I just
really worried about
chilling at the hash.
Yeah, even last night's game, who do you think led them in rebounds?
Who I think? Derek White.
No, he tied Porzingis with 5 though. Who led him with the 11 rebounds was Tatum, who basically runs her point guard. Jaylen Brown had 8.
Porzingis had 5 rebounds. I mean, listen, they won the game, but I'm just saying, like, when you play when you play a team like the Knicks who get offensive rebounds and you're not crashing the glass, oh yeah, that's what we like to see. Yeah, stand at that 3-point line. Yeah, stand at that 3-point line and not crash and do what you're supposed to do and box out like a big copy. And that's when you'll start to see second chance and you'll get frustrated. And if they don't work on those things like that, they could definitely get beat. But they're still very talented, and I expect them to go far.
Let's not even talk about Miami, really.
Well,
Without
bro,
Jimmy.
back, bro.
Do what? Okay.
Right back.
Just with Miami, unfortunately, without Jimmy, there's not really much Miami. Moving forward, I do think during the offseason, we do try to get that 2 guard, possibly a